Chair recognizes gentleman from New Jersey, Mr. Payne, for 5 minutes.
I want to thank everybody for their testimony today. Please bear with me a minute. I lost my.
Gentlemen, Mr. Payne, we hear you.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Just a few weeks ago, an armed man broke into the San Francisco home of Speaker Pelosi in what appeared to be an assassination attempt. Although Speaker Pelosi was not home, the intruder violently attacked the Speaker's 82-year-old husband, putting him in the hospital. This attack occurred at a tense time for our nation, with extreme rhetoric suggesting violence against public officials. Director Wray, your own agency has also been subjected to such attacks after executing a search pursuant to a lawful warrant on the former president's residence, as we saw with the incident outside an FBI office in Ohio. To the panel, how do you assess the current threats against elected and government officials, and how do your agency proactively protect against this violence?
Well, I'll start off and see whether Secretary Mayorkas may want to chime in. The phenomenon that you're describing, Congressman, I think has two pieces of it. The first is related towards violence towards all sorts of individuals in government, kind of across the spectrum, and the second is law enforcement specific. On the first, we have seen a trend over the last several years of people more and more in this country, when they're upset or angry about something, turning to violence as the way to manifest it. And that is a very, very dangerous trend. There is a right way under the First Amendment to express how angry and upset you are about something or with somebody, but violence, and violence against government officials, is not it. But that is something that we've been seeing across the political spectrum now for quite a number of years. Second, I mentioned law enforcement. It is a reality that an already dangerous profession, namely law enforcement, has become more dangerous. Last year was the highest number of law enforcement officers shot and killed in the line of duty since 9/11. And I know personally, because we've had agents shot and killed. We had a task force officer shot and killed, ambushed right outside one of our small offices in Terre Haute, Indiana. And one of the things I did when I started in this job was that I said I was going to call every time an officer is shot and killed anywhere in the country in the line of duty. I was going to call the chief or the sheriff myself and express my condolences. And I've made way north of 200 of those calls. Often it's one a week. And each one of those officers killed leaves behind a family, a department, and a community that'll never be the same. And so the phenomenon that you described affects both government officials as victims across the spectrum, but also law enforcement uniquely. And it's a trend that we should all as Americans be concerned about.
Secretary Mayorkas.
Let me echo what the director said about what a tragically difficult year it has been for law enforcement. I want to reference one additional statistic, which is this year has seen the greatest number of ambushes against law enforcement officers. And there is no more noble profession than the law enforcement profession. And I know a number of you on this committee have served in that capacity. One of the areas of emphasis that the director and I have had is to be sure to disseminate timely and actionable information to state, local, tribal, territorial, and campus law enforcement so that we equip our local communities to understand the threat landscape before them and prevent violent acts from occurring in the first instance.
Thank you. That was a quick 5 minutes, and I will yield back.
Gentleman's time has expired.